All right, so this is a heli. Heli, helico, helicopter, a couple names for the same thing. And to me, it's magnificent. The first thing any acro pilot picks up is the wing over. It's just an extension of sharp turns, and it has some use. You can get down a little faster, but mostly it's just a good time. I remember my breakthrough moment when I finally learned to exit properly.
Now let's see if I can do some wing overs. Exit without doing a spiral. And what I'm playing with is the roll of the outside brake. Like before, I felt like I wasn't straightening up quite in time. Oh, big one. This is big if I can get out of it. God damn, I'm going big. Fuck me. But I'm in control. Just wanna... Holy smokes! This is gonna be my best one ever. Oh my god! Oh, the camera was pointed down. You couldn't see it. But that was flipping awesome.
After that, the next thing I went for is a move called the sat.
Let's go ahead. Keep going. One ring, good.
This is a SAT. Look at that, a SAT. I'm doing a SAT right now. What it stands for is not important. It's Safety Acrobatic Team, the people that invented it. But what it signifies to me at the time was like the entry into, like, I don't know, the cool kids group. Like, the only people I know that can do SATs are the good pilots. Wingovers and SATs kept me happy for a year. But I'm just not wired to be happy with where I am. I want to see what the next challenge is. And there's a gap. There's this chasm that you cross as you go from what my friends call turgid wing acro to floppy wing acro. The first thing you need to learn when you're getting into floppy wing acro is how to get out of floppy wing acro. And that's the stall to the tail slide. That's the exit door that you need to be able to find from almost anywhere. This is the next thing I did. And to show you all of them would be dreadful. There's too many. I've done like 110 so far. It's called a pre-stall. And basically what I do is I pull the brakes farther and farther and farther. And as I pull them, they get harder and harder to pull. And then eventually there gets to be this period where it's lighter. Like suddenly it gives up the brake pressure and you pull it just a little bit. You can't see my air quotes, but just a little bit too far. Right? And the wing kind of collapses. It goes into what we'll call a pre-stall. And the whole idea behind this is to recognize where the pre-stall point is and what the pre-stall point feels like. Now, this was a long process to get right. It's one thing to take an SIV course, which I've done several times, and survive the full stall. It's another thing entirely to be able to go from the full stall right there to the tail slide right here from any messed up situation you might find yourself in. It took me hundreds of tries. Some people learn it in 50, some people maybe even slower than me, but I did 200 or 300 of those before I felt confident that if I mess up a misty flip, if I mess up a helico, if I mess up almost anything, that full stall to tail slide exit path will be there for me. And this wing you're looking at in real life now is probably about worn out and time for new lines. Because me and my motor, me over water, me with an instructor, all those times add up hundreds and hundreds of stalls to get that right. Maybe you'd learn faster. Picking up the helico is rife with peril, and after a few failed attempts, I thought that my problem was a lack of courage. So this time, instead of bailing to the tail slide quickly, I held on to it too long and nearly had to throw a reserve. But I was able to fly out of this one. If your wing's twisted and not stalled, you're usually going to be okay. After I had gotten to the point where I thought I was safe at the heli, where if the thing went wrong, at least I knew when it was about to go wrong and I could exit to the tail slide, I brought it to the motor over land. So this is me, in my own self-evaluation, thinking that I'm ready to learn, or at least get more reps in, more repetition, on a motor over land. See, this is how I do it. It starts over a lake with an instructor, maybe over a lake even without an instructor, but in a safe environment. And when I think I can do it without fouling up, then I'll bring it to the motor. And the beauty of that is I can do it in baby steps. Altitude's free, right? Tows are expensive. Expensive both in terms of like your time, making it happen, and even just in price. On a paramotor, anytime you want to go up, you can go up. Anytime. I can do this 10 times a flight, 100 times. Like, I have all the altitude I could ever possibly want, so I get all the runs I want. But you're a little heavier, it's a little sketchier. You don't do it on a motor until you're already good. I thought I was good. I wasn't.
Oh my God. So this just happened like 1 minute ago. I thought I'd record while the feeling was fresh. I am 100% okay. It wasn't even that hard a landing. But I was trying a helico, something I've tried about, I don't know, maybe 75 times before.
This was a breakthrough. This was a big deal for me. I had mentioned just a second ago that I had done like 75 helis before, but they were all messed up helis. Helis where I had to find tail slide before they went to hell. This is the first heli I did, and you can see it's not that great. It's a little wobbly and sort of starting and stopping, but I could have done this forever. I could have taken this into the water, and I actually considered it. It was super exciting for me to have a heli that I didn't have to end because it was getting progressively worse. From that sort of one side floppy, stutter, stop, like go, go, go heli, I built upon that. And you can see as I started with maybe a little too much brake on that one side, but in a second that wing will fully expand and things will get smooth.
There it is. There it is.
I'm actually doing what that guy in the beginning of the video did. It was amazing. It was a really big deal for me. When I did 4 helis in a row, as soon as I got my first one, I got 3 more. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt like a dog that caught the car. What's next? So this is exciting to me, but probably only really appreciated by other people working their heli. What I do is I go into my heli, and you'll see, look how quickly I got it sorted out. Look how that wing is broad, and it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful, trust me. And then I go to a tail slide and exit like I always do. But rather than fly and go into the heli the same way I did the first time, I take it from heli to deep stall. I'm sorry, from tail slide to deep stall back to heli. It's probably not interesting to you, but it indicates like a little level of mastery, right? I can get into this heli from more than one place. And that's where I am now. I don't hit all my helis. I certainly don't hit all my helis. I hit maybe even half of my helis. I'm not good at helis, but this is improvement. This is a real solid difference from where I started at the beginning of this video. This is the road to where I am now, for better or for worse. So what's next? Well, probably a lot more of this, a lot more of the same thing where I could just get my repetition in practice, and then heli in the other direction, and then misty flip, and then misty flip to heli. There's all kinds of things left out there that I can't do yet, but I'm having fun getting a knack for the things that I can do. All right.